Children who attend local well-resourced schools do well, academically and socially. Children attending schools in a selective area do less well, if not worse, particularly the longer they are in compulsory education. And to add to this, these areas are more unequal and have less social cohesion than areas that have comprehensive education. I've not made this up. This is what research has told us over decades, and this is what the data reveals year after year. To step outside of the data, I'm going to tell you a story of what it's like when policymakers lack either the knowledge or are too scared to listen to the evidence or to listen to professional experience. I'm going to tell the story of selective education in Kent as it might be experienced by children, parents, teachers, and our elected members responsible for education. In Kent, unlike almost all other counties and countries across the globe, we segregate our children from the age of 11. We segregate boys and girls. We segregate those on long-term free school meals compared to those who are not. We segregate those with additional educational needs. We segregate children from well-resourced families from children whose families are not so fortunate. We segregate children who score more than 332 or less than 332 in a silly, short, multiple choice test, and more on this later. We segregate friends, families, neighbours, and communities. The very existence of selection, sorting, and grading, to quote the words of Raymond Williams, creates the unreliable and valued judgment distinction between good schools and bad schools. Imagine a young child in primary school grappling with digraphs, fractions, the Romanization of Britain, and then gradually discussions will creep in about which secondary school you will go to. Will it be the good grammar school or the bad secondary modern school? If your family has the resources and the inclination, you might find those once playful evenings spent watching television or avoiding tidying your room have been replaced by spending time with a private tutor who, for around £40 an hour, will guarantee 11+ success. You may even find your summer holidays shortened to attend 11+ summer schools. If not, you may of course be left wondering what your friends are doing. And if it's so important, why don't your parents do it for you? To be very clear, I'm not blaming parents. We all want the best for our children, and the policymakers keep telling us good schools level up, and selection means you can go to a good school. Of course, what is left hidden and cruelly cut out of the scene is the notionally bad schools where failures end up. What must it be like for parents standing outside the school gates, listening to the stories of how other parents are planning to secure their child's place in a good school? What must it be like to know that some parents have been planning since infant school or earlier for the mysterious 11+? Let's talk about the 11+. What must it be like to be 9 years old in August and then to find out on the 9th of September, when you are just 10, your ability to answer about 130 questions in 2 one-hour multiple choice tests could determine whether you go to a good school or a bad school? What must it be like to be a teacher, a professional educator who has watched a child's learning, witnessed the struggles and successes, only to have your detailed and caring professional judgment of a child cast aside because 328 or 342 is deemed to better represent the child you know so well? What must it be like as a teenager, standing at the bus stop early in the morning, getting used to growing bodies, working out who you are and which bands are cool or not cool, as a separate bus comes for the children going to the good school, while you have to get on the crowded regular bus? What must it be like to go to one of those good schools to be told that you are better, only to wish that you could still have a laugh with your mate, now on the other bus, at lunchtime? And what about those shared envious and jealous glances across streets, bus stops and playgrounds that often erupt into bullying and name calling? What must it be like, and I pause because this actually happened, What must it be like when the good school near you gets £19 million to build extra classrooms? And then, because the local authority, believing in fairness, they decide to spend another £15 million on another good school because it's another gender. Finally, what must it be like to be responsible for education policy and to know, or at least they should know, all that I have just presented, for it is well documented and frequently reported, but to sit back and do nothing and watch existing division become even more entrenched? I wonder what that's like. Thank you for listening.